I wanted to do a little video. If the light is brighter back here than here, I'm aware of that. I wanted this behind me more than I wanted good lighting, but I thought the light was fine. So I wanted to do a little update because I'm finding that, especially since the eclipse, but also in the last several months, I have felt like there has been a definite upgrade. I feel like a lot of people are feeling this, and one of my other acquaintances, Manali, who is another spiritual teacher, vibrates on many different dimensions, she was feeling this upgrade as well. And I'm just noticing that every day I feel like is an upgrade. I feel like every day I'm more in alignment with myself, and I know this goes up and down in a lot of sense for me, but in the last couple weeks especially, but in the last few months, I've just been feeling so in alignment with everything. Like, I feel like I'm finally starting to get to that point where on a daily basis I feel one with everything, and it's getting to a point where I don't even have to really like work at connecting with my guides or meditating. I can sit down and drop into it very easily, and I'm finding that very exciting. I'm also finding it a lot easier to step into my shadows without a lot of fear. Of course, this is always difficult, but for some reason I feel like it's becoming easier and easier to shed that ego and really just step into a space of loving myself and stepping into a whole space. It's just becoming easier, and it's definitely because I've done a lot of work. It's definitely because I have really put in the time. I'm having a really hard time articulating what I'm feeling, and I think that's because words are starting to become unhelpful, and even as I would call him, my spirit father, Brooks, has said my speech has changed a lot since I started channeling, and I channel pretty frequently even when I'm not specifically trying to channel. John Michael, the guy I am currently seeing, is really good with that, and will literally be in the car and I'll just start channeling, and it's very interesting. I feel like I'm becoming much more in alignment with my higher self, which is an extraterrestrial being. And so I feel like when I say I'm channeling, in a sense, I am channeling my higher self, but also the council very, very easily. And John Michael said that he's, my speech has changed, and I'm not really sure why, but he says that it's clearer, and this is something I've been noticing, and for those of you who have followed me, you may recognize that, and Brooks said that as well. So I thought that was an interesting byproduct of that. I'm also finding that shift is happening around me really intensely all the time. Like, because I have stepped into a space of full self-love, as self-loving as I've ever been, and really accepting the synchronicity and flow, everything around me seems so much more synchronic, and that's been a really interesting thing to experience. Things are just flowing. Like, I was joking with my friends that, should come with a warning label, like consciousness shift imminent, or, and I just think that's really interesting. Several people in my life have decided to switch over to veganism, but everything's seeming really easy. Like, I'm finding that it is, as I let go of the belief system that things are hard, things become easy. It is a very interesting belief that we have, lack and just things that, in that illusion of separateness. And as you start to shift into a space of oneness, you start seeing the hologram that is around you. You start seeing how everything is connected and how everything is an illusion. And as you really start to integrate that belief and awareness into your reality, you notice that things are only difficult because you make them difficult and you identify with them. And as you release those identifications, it makes it a lot easier to see the bigger picture and understand why things happen. Even things that are uncomfortable, you understand why they're a reflection or why they are happening, and you can shift them through much easier, and things start to feel better again. So I just have the desire to read to you the passage from the book The Mayan Oracle, A Galactic Language of Light. But this is an oracle deck, and this is the card I pulled. I don't know, I think it's because I have much less stuff at John Michael's house. Most of my things that I have here, aside from my laptop and stuff, are my books and my altar. And so if I'm not online, I find that being my time is taken up by my sacred practice, which feels really, really good. And oftentimes I get very distracted by other things, and I don't do my spiritual practice as much as I would like. And so I have been pulling cards, and I have been meditating with them, and I've been really able to focus. John Michael works at the farm 6 days a week, and so I have a lot of alone time and 3 beautiful felines that I get to spend my time with. We have Bartholomew Erasmus, we have Lilith, and then we have Turtle, or Turtalis, something like that. J.M. loves naming his animals very interesting things. It is very interesting. My spirit animal, who has actually come into my physical space but is now my spirit animal again, is also a black feline cat. And so I find it very interesting that I am now in the presence of this same energy. And they have very similar personalities, especially Bartholomew. He very much reminds me of Thelma, my cat. So it's been a very interesting experience. He is the oldest, and then Lilith is about 3 or 4, I believe, 5-ish, and we think she's pregnant with kittens. And then there's Turtle, who is the youngest, and we think is the father of the kittens. And so he's very destructive, and we have to keep making sure he doesn't ruin my altar. And when our other housemates are moving into their own place, I'm actually going to be getting their room and turning that into a sacred space and a healing space, and I'm going to have all my altar in there. And it's going to be a cat-free zone, not because I don't adore them and I don't want them around, but because Turtle loves jumping on my altar. So yeah, anyway, I'm in this beautiful space, and so I've been able to really delve into some things that I've been wanting to do. So I wanted to read this from the book, but the card I drew today, and I don't know, I just felt drawn to do this, and I have stepped into a space where I pretty much 99% of the time trust my intuition, so I'm going to do that. This card really resonated with me, but I also sent it to JM, and this deeply resonated with him, and I'm not surprised. We are very, very in tune with each other, and we find we are either very good yin and yang of each other, or we are dealing with the same things. Of course, yin and yang is another form of reflection, and since we are all one, again, it's the same vibration. We cannot reside in the same space with things that are of a different vibration. It just isn't possible. And John Michael and I are have had many, like 40 or 50 past lives together, and it's very exciting to be in the space with him again. Even though it's only been a few weeks, it's like we've known each other forever, and it's like we're getting to meet a person we already know in a different body, and that's always very, very exciting. I get to have that experience quite frequently now, and it is something I very much enjoy. So anyway, the card I pulled today was Transparency. And the qualities are identification, actor, exploration of new rules, undefining of the self. So just listen to these words and see how they resonate with you, and see how they can help you transmute anything that maybe is stuck in the identification you hold. This book is by Ariel Pillsbury and Michael Briner, but this is based off of the teachings of Jose Agualas, who has written The Mayan Factor and a bunch of other things. So this is not by him, but this is from that same teaching. Welcome, divine child, to the mystery of transparency, the freedom of definition. Step into your transparent self. Discover and celebrate the divine child, the adventurer, the actor, who is free to explore or play any part at any moment without attachment. The divine child is freed from, the divine child is freed from definitions, yet has all the keys to the costume closet. Look at how much you identify with the roles you play. With awareness, try on unfamiliar roles that life presents for your teaching. Explore the roles you avoid or resist. Let your magical child be serious, depressed, angry, stuck, or confused. Explore old identifications and undefine yourself. Being receptive to all possibilities, create an open doorway or transparency in which you respond in the moment from a position of trust in the divine. Through transparency, a kind of immunity is created that allows you to be non-identified with your experience, transparent to the purpose of the light. Then the projections of others will move through you without your personalizing them into emotional reactions such as hurt feelings. Remember, when you find yourself reacting, you are simply being shown what you are identified with. Your actor is also being given a focus to explore and transform the roles and masks in your costume closet. Reinvent yourself. Recognize that you are an actor in a cosmic play. See that the ego and the world in which you once believed you were trapped was only a mirage, just one more character in another play with actors who have forgotten they were in a play. The art of acting is the art of transmutation. A shaman has learned to act like the jaguar by modifying his or her perceptions to match the feeling of the jaguar, thus changing the assemblage points of their reality. They have become transparent. In your transparency, there is nothing to do, nothing to know. You simply are. In transparency, worlds are created. And that is a quote by Aurora. In transparency, worlds are created. And I find this very interesting. As I find emotions easier to shift in and out, I find that I'm not as attached to them. And it's really interesting because I think so often we come into the spiritual practice and we really try hard to shift who we are. We really try hard. And if you think about that word hard, it's not a flow word. Allow. We don't allow for ourselves. Sometimes in the spiritual community, people are just as hard on themselves as they are in any other sense in space. And so it's just another form of trying to be different and allowing, and not allowing who we are. And what I find is the real breakthrough is when you stop trying and you understand that in all space you should be gentle and compassionate to yourself. And through that you understand that because we're all one, you become compassionate and understanding of all who's around you, and you understand why people do what they do. And instead of coming at it with judgment or rejection, you accept them for who they are. And through that, healing and integration can happen, and then you understand oneness, and then you create light around that space. And that's really a beautiful thing to experience. And I find that you get to a point where you stop trying, and that's when the real breakthrough happens. And so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, and this idea of identifying with the things around us, and how even in that is duality, because all of this is an illusion. The separateness is an illusion. None of this is us, but at the same time, all of this is us. And so we're not separate from it. So you don't have to identify with it. You can release that identification, but you understand that everything is you, and so you are whole. And because identification is the belief that this thing outside of you is you. You get caught up in that, but then the duality of that, it is you, so you don't have to worry about it being separate from you. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, this is what I've been thinking about, and I wanted to vlog about this a little bit. I haven't been vlogging every day, but you guys won't know that because I'm still putting up vlogs every other video, or every 2 videos. So as you can see by now, I'm consolidating more than one day into a vlog, so that's really exciting. And I am shifting around the times a little bit just so that there's some cohesive like themes, but there isn't a lot of time in between, maybe a couple weeks or so. Anyway, so I just wanted to update you guys. I'm sending you much love. Hope you're all doing very well. Many blessings, namaste, and don't forget it's all about the soul journey. Bye. Hey, so I also wanted to mention something very, very exciting that I found in my town. My new town is an apothecary, and that's the Sacred Tree Herbals. And I am so freaking excited because this new town I've moved to, it has an apothecary, it has a health food store and crystals and a bookshop that has tarot in it, and same with the other two shops. They have tarot, and it's so exciting. But I wanted to mention this because this beautiful soul who owns this shop, she is an herbalist. She literally is drying the herbs around the store, and then she creates these things, and she has classes on being herbalists, and then they are apprentices. If I was going to be here longer, I would so be a part of that. But I wanted to say, I've been looking for charcoal tablets because sometimes I deal with a bit of nausea, and I find charcoal tablets to be an absolute amazing, amazing way of feeling much better for that. So if you deal with nausea, try charcoal tablets. They're absolutely amazing. And so I asked her if she had them, and she said yes, and she's like, I'll just put them in capsules for you. Like, she literally put them in like as I wanted them. Like, that's how much she's like into this. It wasn't just like, here's a bottle. She's like, I will make the capsules for you. And so I came back an hour later, and she'd made these capsules for me, and she charged me $4 for 22 capsules. And I was like, oh my god. So I wanted to give her a bit of a shout out. If you're in the New Hampshire area, the Meredith area, check her out. She's amazing. And I'm also going to be selling some of my crystal wands there. She wants some of those in her shop, and I'm going to be having those in Portsmouth as well. So if you're in the Portsmouth area or the Meredith area, I will be selling my crystal wands, which is really, really exciting. So be sure to check her out. Let's see. She is www.sarahsherbs.com. So sarahsherbs.com, and I'll put that below. But that's very exciting, so go check her out. She seems like she's really amazing. I also bought a beautiful moonstone there, and it looks like she's got some amazing allergy stuff, so I'm going to check those out as well, and so is Jam. So I just wanted to do a little shout out, so I'm so excited that I have these. I'm so thankful. Actually, I'm going to put these on my altar because I want to put that good energy in them. Not that they already don't, they clearly do. But yeah, alright, so I'm going to get off to editing. I just wanted to mention that, so. Much love, you guys. Many blessings. Bye. You guys, this is the beautiful moonstone that I purchased from the shop owned by that woman, Sarah, the herbalist. And this is a beautiful moonstone, and it was only $2, and it feels so yummy. And so I wanted to, I still had that in my purse, and I had forgotten, so I want to put this on my altar. I have been really connected to the moon ever since the eclipse. I haven't had a real draw to the moon until now, and now I don't know, it shifted something in me. I'm very excited. So I've been wearing my moon pendant a lot, but I also, I don't know, I'm just really drawn to this feminine energy, and I want to learn more about my cycles and how it affects the planet, and so this is really exciting to me. This is also the Mayan Oracle, and I've mentioned it in some of my, like, deck videos. I always have it usually in my favorites. So this is that. These are not the signs. These are more like energies and things that are happening. And then, oh, there's another one. Good Lord. Those are the only ones I've been pulling recently. Oh, no. Well, I'll show you. You guys can go to my deck videos and see more of those. So stay tuned for that. I am putting up the Oracle deck videos soon. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I love this. I love the feel of it. I love holding it. It's really lovely. So much gratitude. So much gratitude. We are so very blessed. And I love to revel in that and enjoy that. And, you know, whatever space you're in, you can be grateful for something, even if it's, you know, the beautiful sky or the air on your face. And as you step into a space of gratitude, the universe has to reflect that to you, and it will send you more. So there's always something to be grateful for. All right, love you all. Many blessings. Namaste. Bye. Hello, beautiful souls. So today I wanted to talk about moon cycles and feminine things. I know you guys, I'm kind of moving more into a vlog type thing, and that's just because I've got so much going on and I haven't really been drawn to make like specific themed videos. But as you've seen, like, my vlogs are sort of themed. So anyway, things are changing. Today, I want to talk about moon cycles and coming into alignment and realizing that we are all shifting into oneness. So something I didn't mention, obviously, because I was in the throes of dealing with it, my period was 3 weeks late, which was a little concerning to say the least. I started tracking my period several months ago, and I was on a pretty normal thing, and then about 3 weeks ago, it didn't come, and so I was getting a little worried, and I was going to get a pregnancy test if it didn't come by my next period. And so thank God yesterday it showed up. But I thought it was very interesting because if you guys have been watching my vlogs, you will see that I was saying that my period was out of sync with how I wanted it to be. Most people, most women will tell you in the ancient cultures. Oh, before I get going, I want to just show you guys my vegan shirt from That Vegan Couple. I know I've showed it to you before, but I'm just loving it today. And my Superman pants, they're not mine, they're JM's, but I've claimed them. Anyway, so back to my cycle. So you're supposed to have your period during the new moon because it's then the beginning of the cycle, the new moon. And then when the full moon hits is when you're supposed to be ovulating, because like in ancient cultures during the new moon it was a rest time, and then during the full moon it was a time to be out and having sex and procreating, so it kind of worked. So mine was the absolute opposite of that, and I had been thinking about this concept of wanting to shift it, and ironically, basically my cycle was like, okay, and we just had the new moon. Actually, I'm going to check exactly what it is right now, because the new moon comes around, which was on the eclipse, and then I have this amazing, here, this is my iPad, I don't know if you can see it, I have this Moon Deluxe app. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. It makes music. I love this. Deluxe Moon. I think I actually had to pay for this, like $4 or $5, but I love it. So alright, so we have a waxing crescent. The new moon is, the moon is 4 days old. So, okay, so, you know, it was 3 days after the new moon. It was way closer. So we have a waxing crescent in Scorpio right now. That explains so much. Anyway, I want to show you guys the app. I hope you can see this. It's really cool. So there's like all kinds of information, and it says like the date, the time, how old the moon is, what the tropical sign is. You've got all these different like meanings of the different moon and the zodiac and how to gardening moon, moon day, blah blah. Anyways, super cool stuff. Phase of the moon. Anyway, that's not what I was going to talk about. The point is that ironically my cycle started around the new moon, and I was like, wow, I wonder if I've just decided to do that. I have noticed that my manifesting has gone through the freaking roof. I'll think about something, in a day or two later it'll happen. So I'm not super surprised. It's just always kind of crazy when it's happening. So of course I was rather concerned. I was kind of freaking out. I was really in a space of trying to figure out what I was going to do about it, and I've never been so happy in my life to get my period. There was a really tiny chance that I was actually pregnant, but you know, you always get a little paranoid, and so I'm not pregnant, Yay! Anyway, but I wanted to talk about moon cycles and honoring our body because, you know, as soon as I got my period, immediately, I mean, we're talking within like minutes, I was in copious amounts of pain. This only started happening a few years ago. Before that, I had like 0 symptoms for my period, but like now I do, and it's great. So I'm on day 2, and I'm just like, ugh. JM was like, go to the fair in town, go for a walk, and I'm just like, I want to, I really want to, but cramps. And it's a really interesting thing that we experience because, you know, pain and suffering always comes from resisting whatever's going on. And so recently I've been really stepping into honoring my own personal cycles, my body, being present with the pain and just accepting it for what it is, which is just my body doing what it needs to do. And so just like in birth and pregnancy and all that yummy stuff, it's the same thing. You know, we understand that our body is doing exactly what it needs to do for it to do its thing. Yeah. I would highly suggest looking up Teal Swan's video on periods, menstrual cycles. I forget the name of it, but if you type in like periods, Teal Swan, I'm sure it will come up. Amazing video. She talks about the sacredness of period blood and manifesting and honoring the divine feminine. I honestly think men and women should both watch it because it is amazing. It talks about the cycles. Absolutely love her. I watch her stuff off and on, but I am a huge fan of hers. Sometimes I feel like if I watch too much of her, I get a little too like caught up in her teachings instead of like learning my own stuff. So I really try to like listen to her and then like let it go and then like be in my space, because so often, and I think a lot of people have this problem, is they get really caught up in what their teacher's saying and then they almost stop having their own experience because they're so focused on the teacher. So I try to like listen but then like have my own experience and honor that. So it's really good. So to help me with feeling better, I've been carrying around the moonstone I showed you guys last time. So that's been lovely. Love this. Yeah, and I'm just really trying to honor myself. I really think I might go for a walk because I'm really feeling that. Since we're in a space of self-love and appreciation, do we want to pull a card? Is that what we want to do? Maybe we'll do that. So I'm going to pull a card from the Kuan Yin Oracle. One of the cards that I'm not going to be pulling is Blossom of the Sky Dancer because I have that out on my altar. From the, what's it called? The eclipse. I pulled the manifesting card from both the Isis and the Kuan Yin deck. Like, we're talking like the cards are almost exactly the same. So, alright, a message for today's video on, oh, there it is. Alright, Tai Chi Rising. And that is actually the picture on the book and the back of the card as well. So we've got some synchronicity going on here. So I hope you guys can see that. Let's see if I can, oh, I'm struggling. Yep. Tai Chi Rising. I wonder if this is going to be about balance. Alright, 32. That's 23. Alright, today's message. Your energy field is growing stronger with more spiritual electricity pulsing through your being. Take time to nourish your nervous system as it adjusts and be gentle with yourself as you adjust in increasing levels of spiritual potency, which gives more impact to your words, actions, and thoughts. Having a big energy field does not necessarily mean that you have a high level of consciousness, but when you do have an exquisite awareness and a beautiful light, it is able to shine more brightly through a larger energy field. Whatever you have within you, a larger energy field will reveal it with greater gusto. You have a special light within you, and the elegance, beauty, and refinement of that light wishes to express itself more potently in the world of forms so that others may receive healing and refine their light to you. You can help teach others about the power of gentleness, that force is not required, and that kindness can be the most healing and powerful realm. And that, my mind isn't all there today. That kindness can be the most healing and powerful balm of all. For this to happen more so now, your energy field is growing. It is like having a bigger light globe through which to shine your light so that it is more visible. As your energy field grows, your words and thoughts have more potency, like getting used to driving a car with a more powerful engine. Take your time and be careful as you realize the impact that your actions and thoughts will have in the world of forms now. You do not need to worry about this. You can go into your heart and trust that you will exercise your will and potency in the world through surrendering into your heart, where your own Kuan Yin nature will guide you into compassion and right action. Let your energy field continue to grow through chanting, meditation, energy work, and healing, and whatever else intuitively feels right for you. This oracle is confirmation that the growth is happening and needs to happen for you now so that you are able to do your life's work most effectively. Well, I see how that applies to me, and I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be feeling that as well. I do feel like a lot of people on the planet right now are, like I was saying before, getting an upgrade. They're feeling like the light is brightening, and I think I may have mentioned this before, but it's really interesting. I think I was talking to someone about this. I don't know if I said it on camera. I think it's really, really interesting. And now this isn't for everyone, but, and of course this is about what you're manifesting, what you believe your reality is. But if I was just going to look at my life right now, I would say that things are raising in consciousness, people are awakening, things are feeling better. Of course, we are being told through the TV and through other avenues that things are not good. And I think it's really interesting that to perceive what's negative on the planet, I have to be told what is negative on the planet, not that I'm actually experiencing it. And I wonder how many people are creating more negativity in their life because they are being told and believing that the planet is going to shit. Not that there isn't stuff going on. I absolutely understand that it is. It's not that it isn't. But I'm saying so many of us are focusing outward instead of inward. And I feel the planet raising in frequency, but I'm being told it's going to shit. And I understand there's a duality of that, and we need to be aware of that, and all of that needs healing. And as we raise in consciousness, the polarity is going to shift until we can, become one. So I understand all of that, but I'm just noticing how many of us are probably bringing negativity into our space just because we are being told that there's negativity, not because we're actually perceiving it. And so, of course, whatever we focus our energy on, that is what we create more of. So I just wanted to put that out there. So it's good to know what's going on. And if it's in your space, of course, create the reality you want. If it's in your space and you can put your focus of creating peace around it, you can create that, you can shift that. So if it's in your space, by all means, focus on it. Pay attention to healing that process. But if it's not in your space, focus on what is. That's about being in the moment. That's about being present. That's about understanding what's going on for you in your reality and not taking on everyone else's. So be aware of what you're focusing on in your general vicinity. It's a very peaceful room I'm in right now. I have 2 beautiful sleeping cats right here. I have my altar. I am very, very blessed and thankful. I don't need to be stressing, because if I was supposed to be focusing on the other stuff, it would be in my space right now. And it does come in my space and it does leave my space, but right now it's not there. So be aware of what's actually happening to you in the current moment. Not what's happening in the past, future. Of course, those are illusions as well. Everything is happening all at once. That's why I don't like the idea of past lives. It's more like alternate lives, alternate time streams, because everything's happening all at once because there's no time and space. So, but that's for another video. What is happening right now? I am taken care of. I am fed. There is light. It is beautiful out. I am in the state of my moon cycle, my blood cycle. I am honoring my body. That is what I need to be focusing on. I don't care what anyone else says. That is what I need to be focusing on, because that's what's happening to me. And that might be different for you. But understand that whatever you're supposed to be experiencing, you are, and no one else needs to be. And vice versa. So I just take a moment as you're watching this video. Take a breath. Notice your surroundings. Not what you're thinking about, but your actual surroundings. What is actually happening to you. And if it's agitated, bring it even more into your body. Focus your attention into your body. If you're feeling pain, if you're feeling discomfort, be present with it. Put the light around it. Be thankful to your body. Understand that it's doing the best it can. Hold yourself in a loving light. And if you have a hard time loving yourself, just picture white light around you and allow for gentleness. You don't have to like yourself, but gentleness. As much as you can, you know, we're all at a different stage of loving ourselves, so just start thinking of your body as your pet, as your car, as your, you know, the thing that's carrying you around. Just like be present with it like you would a small child or an animal in need. And just you don't have to be obsessed or totally ecstatic about something that you can have compassion for. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you can not be completely in love with something, but have compassion for it and be nurturing towards it. This idea of being in love or loving your body, I think people get really caught up in that because they're like, well, I don't like this, I don't like that. You can have compassion for something that you don't completely understand. You can have compassion for something that needs nurturing just because you care about it, not because you are ecstatically enjoying what it looks like. Or, do you know what I'm saying? Like, bring a nurturing sense to it. And just be present with yourself. You are a human being, and that is enough to give yourself a safe, nurturing space. And when you realize you can nurture something, that in and of itself is love. I think we hear this word love, you know, these words love yourself, and you know, you get like, it's like, what does that mean? I have a hard time loving anything about myself. Don't love yourself, just be gentle. Just relax. See yourself as a child, an innocent star being. Nurture yourself like a baby. Hold yourself. I hope you all are well. Many blessings. Namaste. And don't forget, it's all about the soul journey.